when someone challenging you in the safe space, that's what propels you further. That's how you grow. That's necessary, because I believe in power of giving and receiving. And I wish I would have this podcast. I wish I would have mentors. I wish I would have anyone or anything. Like your life changed, you become no one. Like we become nobody overnight. Part of the executive connections, and we were doing the behavioral profiles. And that's what I found, that my strength, I'm the visionary, I'm the leader.
Our guest today is a woman who wears many hats and one that we admire greatly. Elena Gosse is CEO, multi-award winning businesswoman, TEDx and inspirational speaker, entrepreneur, and mentor. Employing skills from a former entertainment career, including creativity, collaboration, and communication, Elena has achieved worldwide recognition as an industry influencer and an innovator with a proud 30-year history of excellence in design and manufacturing. Her mission is to disrupt the world around her to advance people innovating for the common good. Welcome to the show, Elena.
Thank you, Em. Are you talking about me? I think to keep records, right? I think we better for this chat think of CEO not as, what is it, Chief Executive Officer. Let's think of Chief Entertainment Officer. I like this type.
Oh, Chief Entertainment Officer. I love that as well. I watched your TEDx and what you were talking about, and it was such a powerful. If you're listening to this and you have not watched it, you have to watch. You have to watch it. It's such a powerful talk that you gave, and I'm sure it would resonate with a lot of women. A lot of women.
Thank you.
So we've just had that fabulous introduction, and I'm sure all of it's true. Can you walk us through a little bit about your journey? We had a little chat before we went on air, but I'd love you to share your journey a little bit and how you've come to wear so many hats.
I think every woman or every man, we all wear many hats. We just don't know about it, right? So I came from Russia about 30 years ago. It actually 30 years ago in this year will be in June. And that was my second marriage that brought me, my love story that brought me here. I met my husband who has a Russian background. He's Russian born, but he grew up in Australia. I met him in Russia like 6 months after my divorce, when I was swearing to God that I would never marry again. And then he is the prince I was waiting probably all my life. I was happy with my life in Russia because I had successful career in television, and I had my own TV program. I was happy there, and I didn't know much about Australia, to be honest. I just wanted him to come and live with me and my two girls in Russia. But he say, I want you to explore Australia. So he bought me a ticket. I came to Australia for 3 months visit. I just completely fell in love with this beautiful country and with Australians. And I couldn't speak a word of English, but I learned one word, like one phrase while shopping, and that was, I'm just looking around, and it served me well. And it served me well for the time being. But of course, I could see so many opportunities for my girls. I realized that I probably didn't realize how hard it will be for me. I could see a lot of opportunities for girls. So decision was made. We started to go through the immigration process, and that was a disaster because basically our visa application was rejected because of my daughter's disability. My younger daughter lives with cerebral palsy. So basically, I was with my eldest daughter. I was allowed into the country, but I had to leave my younger daughter behind. And of course, no mother would do that. We started the long battle with immigration, and we went to Australian embassy in Moscow. And I think the officer could see that it's a true love. He left us fiance. He left us in the office for 20 minutes. And when he came back, he said, I will give you a tourist visa for the whole family. And that's what you need to do. You need to fight. Then it was like we came to Australia with my two girls, but then it was like my husband was diagnosed with cancer, lung cancer. So it was another challenge. So it was one thing after another. We were tested big time. Now we're together for 30 years, and of course moving to other country. And I think immigrant who came from the non-English speaking background would understand that suddenly, like, your life changed, you become no one, like you become nobody overnight. For native speakers, it's difficult to understand, but it's a journey that it's you have to go. And I wish I would have this podcast. I wish I would have mentors. I wish I would have anyone or anything, but I was just by myself, no social network. I realized very quickly that I cannot continue with my profession in television. So I had to find new way. I had to create new future for myself. There is a two ways what you can do. You can, for the rest of your life, tell the stories, how successful you were, how happy you were, but people will bore with that very quickly. Or you need to just think, okay, that's where I am now. That's my presence now. What I can make from that going forward, what I can do with my life. And of course, like first I thought I will be just mother and wife. But very quickly I realized, okay, I'm working around the house 24/7. I am cleaning, I'm moving, I'm doing like cutting the branches on the palms. I was doing everything. But soon I realized, Elena, God gave you brain. You need to use that. You've got so much you can give to the world, but you need to do something with that. So first I decided I would do the office administration course. And now probably it would take me 5-10 minutes to do this course, but it took me 6. Firstly, English, of course. Like I had to learn language. I'm still learning that. Don't think you ever become like native speaker. That was probably 6 months of English classes, but then I was decided I want to contribute to society. So I decided to level up and do the office administration course. But that took me 6 months, and basically I had to look for dictionary for every word. And sometimes I just cried myself to sleep. But of course, I wouldn't quit. The office administration course, I thought, okay, I'm learning something. So husband had a small company, like 3 employees. And I thought I would just like try to help him around that, because like I had some ideas, filing system, MIOB. But what I didn't realize that not my husband, not staff, no one wanted me there. And I understand I was foreigner and I couldn't speak the language. So, and behind the scene, the staff started to call me KGB. It was sort of confronting, but then I thought, okay, I need to do something with that. So I changed my number plate to KGB. And with the dictionary, I told them KGB is now official, watch your back. And if I would react, and if I would react differently, it's probably would create some friction, but that just broke the ice. And we are better team now. And because I love them and they love business, but they still need to watch their back, because you can't take the girl out of Russia, but you can't take Russia out of the girl. So the humor, I think, become my best companion, learning how to not to take myself too seriously, how to ask questions, how to put my perfectionist head aside and just trying to make it through the day. And of course, like being creative person, I took this creativity into manufacturing business, and I just started to do things no one could see or no one wanted to do. And then like a few years later, my husband say, you made business dependent on you. No, I haven't tried to do that. I was just doing what I thought needs to be done in business. And then basically in 2012, I became CEO. My passion was to make the company international success story. So from being a pool shop with 3 employees, we now company of 43. We've got team of 43. We've got 3 manufacturing facilities. We've got $17 million turnover. And my goal is to make it 100 million turnover by 2028. It may sound like lofty ambition, but when I say I will do something, it's get done. Surrounding myself with like-minded people, getting my second university degree in Australia in business accounting. And I'm always considered myself to be dumb in mathematics, because like with creative nature, it's like numbers. It's not my biggest skills. But I have this creative mind that I can see through these figures. I've got people like it's matter of surrounding yourself to find what are your not greatest skills, and find people who can do the stuff you don't like or you're not meant to do. Part of the executive connections, and we were doing the behavioral profiles. And that's what I found, that my strength, I'm the visionary, I'm the leader. When it comes to, and it's sort of matrix that you go through. And you can go like I can be, and I am a great team player. I can do the abide by the rules, discipline. Not really, but yes, I can. Um, but then, like when it comes to policies, procedures, something like this is not my strength, and that's not in my profile. So I can go to this and this, but I cannot go to that. It's a matter of understanding what your weaknesses are, understanding what your strengths are, and just find people who can contribute to this part and build teams that all sets of skills. That's how I became CEO. But then my passion is fighting domestic violence, because I came from the family where family violence was norm. Was time like my father was a perpetrator. But again, I'm not looking at him as perpetrator. I'm looking at him as my greatest teacher. Him about that understanding when I was by his side before he passed away. And all I could see is the lost voice, lost little boy. And he was craving for love. He was craving for forgiveness, but it was too late. It was too late for him. So it's my passion now, and more to like to help women and help children, because women have some sort of choice, but kids don't. And this trauma they carry throughout their whole life, and it's a lot of healing that needs to be done. Passion become to talk to help women, but more to help perpetrators to understand and to tell my story, because and the story is basically the meaning of it. It was late for my father, but it's not late for them. It's not a blame game. I want them to go and find this little child that's sitting in every, and find why, what's triggered that. Because when my father passed away and I looked at his past and how he was treated actually by women, not men, he couldn't be anyone than perpetrator. So to go back and do healing, and I think we need to do healing on the global level when everyone is part of the solution, not part of the problem. The blame game doesn't work. We need to take everyone into understanding and say to perpetrator, I see you, I understand you, I'm here to help you. It's not a blame game, it's a journey together. It's a reason why we met. And I had a presentation that was a couple of years at the our customers conference, the franchising group, and I was doing the presentation for women about finding your voice. And there is a lot about talking about domestic violence. And then it's happened that CEO of this group, he was at the presentation. He said, Elena, I believe all men need to hear this presentation of yours. All men need to hear that. And I say, look, I'm here for 3 days, like we are sponsors. So if you will find the time when you can put all men together, I'm all for it. And he organized, like next day, they organized the 60 men in the room. And I can tell you, there wasn't a one single man who wasn't touched by this presentation. There were tears, there were eyes just down, like so different reactions. After the presentation, some quietly left. It was a long queue. People wanted to share their experience. A lot of men go through the domestic or family violence as children as well, so they want to share that. I think everyone was drawn into the same thing we need to do together, because sometimes what men, especially with movements we have now, a lot of men feel that they are to blame for everything. They are to blame for everything. And I think we need, like globally, we need to stop that. We are one. We are energy. Each one, we are energy. And we are moving together. It's one global energy. And we need to find this love, unconditional love. We need to find compassion toward each other. Because if I will start to blame someone, like you are this, you are that, what would be the reaction? Anger, frustration. But if you would come and I say, let me give you a hug, let me give you a hug, or say, you look wonderful, or you look sad today, are you okay? It would be completely different reaction. It would be maybe that at first, but then you can make this connection. You can find that sort of balance in between. Wearing too many hats, I never say no to anything. Raise my hand for everything, and then I thought, what I've just done, I shouldn't be doing that. But then once hand is up, you are sort of stepping up, you are rising above. I believe as leaders or as humans, our responsibility is not drag someone somewhere. It's working on yourself. So my responsibility, not my family, not my business, not my parents or partner or kids or grandkids. It's me. As I work on myself, I'm becoming a better person. That's how I inspire others. So then they look and say, oh, I love what Elena is doing. So that is actually sorting out who are my people, who are people my journey. So we rise, our vibration rises, and then we sort of start meeting people who are higher vibrationally than us. And we need to grow to them. They are not allowed to come and meet us in the middle, right? And that's how we making good for the like worldwide. That's how we, I believe, heal the planet. That's how we heal each other. The work needs to be done within me. I need to become and strive to become better person. And then I'm there as a mentor to guide my team, upskill them, to uplift them, to provide them with opportunities. But I cannot say, no, I want you to be there. No, actually, I've done it recently. Last year, our focus was on entrepreneurship. So that's entrepreneurship, but with our twist. We were accredited through, you probably know Irina Yashinshaw, who leading the Global Institute of Entrepreneurship. And we were accredited with Global Institute of Entrepreneurship, but we were doing prior a lot of work with the team. So we were leading limiting beliefs, amazing program. We introduced sound healing meditation for our people. And it's just like if you just imagine how the factory floor transforms as everyone just rolls out their yoga mats and bursts into their healing and relaxation. And together we are unlocking our creative potential as a group. And of course, at first, everyone is just this some sort of cult or what it is. But now they are waiting for it. They understand the benefit and they say, oh, Yelena, after that, I can see something like my vision, or they expand their horizon. Also, we are doing embodied leadership, and that is like learning about leadership through the art of dance. So because like when you dancing, and you probably realize that if your partner is like this, or if your partner is too aggressive or too active, it's impossible to lead that people. But learning how to dance together. So and everyone, like for example in tango, everyone can take the lead, everyone can lead and then follow, lead and follow. And at the end of that workshop, actually what we achieved, that everyone who leads, they could lead the follower who had eyes closed, with little touches, with no words. And that's, I believe, that learning to find that connection, you can understand each other without words. And everyone knows it's safe, it's nothing personal. Even when we have arguments, it's nothing personal, it's safe. But how we grow together. I had a conversation recently when I said to one of my managers, I say, I could see that you become like very defensive when something was mentioned to you. And I say, you need to learn, it's nothing personal. And you need to embrace when someone is challenging you, because that's how you grow. Just like when everyone is telling you what you want to hear, you will never grow. But when someone challenging you in the safe space, that's what propels you further. That's how you grow as a human being or as a leader. I love my people, I love leading them, I love share my experience, because when I was named as a business person of the year for Brisbane City Council, and I was absolutely unprepared for the speech. It came whatever, I can't even remember what I was saying, but I had a huge view of people, and there were people from came to Australia as immigrants. There were people who had people with disability. There were women trying to succeed in male-dominated industry. So I had people from all walks of life wanted to share their experience or ask for advice. And I just wanted to help everyone and share. So that actually brought me closer to the idea. And my daughter and my friend, they trying to push me to write a book. Finish that book. And I had my ski accident recently. I couldn't do it for a few years, but now manuscript is finished. And basically what I'm talking about, it's not about like, oh, I'm born successful. I had it from, no, I don't believe that success is born with or made. It's just like when you just live in your life authentically, when you enough empathy, when you have vulnerability, that's already leadership, and that's a new style leadership. But also what I don't like, people give you recipes for success. So it just make you feel I'm not good enough. I need to learn that. But what I'm trying to do with my book, it may change, but the current title is the leadership shit show. And it's about the continuous cycle of lifelong learning. And basically, what I'm saying that we need to embrace when we are in leader shit, because that's where the innovation happen. That's where the growth happen. That's when you suddenly realize I am at the point that it cannot get any worse, right? But it also could be compared. For example, if you go into a gym and you learn new exercise, or you learn dance move, you learn a new discipline. That's leadership. That's leadership because it's unfamiliar space. You feel unsettled, but as you practice, and I call it leading a shift. So as you practice, your muscles, you start to build your confidence. You feel so much better, and then for short period of time, you lead in a ship. You are captain of the ship. But as you evolving as a person, as you grow, you want to achieve more. Then you back to leadership. So it's continuous cycle. It's nothing to be afraid. It's nothing to be scared. It's like you. And now I learn to say, okay, challenges. I'm about to go to next level. I'm about to go. So what universe want? Universe want you to what I need to learn. What you want me to learn? Where you want me to go? So I'm much more relaxed about that. I know that the work is happening. When I hit with challenges from every corner, that means the work is happening. I'm growing. I'm growing as leader. I'm growing as person. So it's interesting. I've got a lot of interest in concept and everything. But I think this book, and I've got I asked a few of my friends, give me your leadership stories, how you were at the low. I don't want your stories of success. I want you when you were at the crossroad, when you completely hit the ground, and how you recover from that. And one of these stories is like my dear friend Lisa Lockwood Bell, who is the founder of Performance Studio, and she was such a diva, opera diva, and then she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, cervical cancer, and that's her way how she recovered, what changes she needed, and where she is now. And what I found that everyone who ever been in that leadership and made way out and open about it, they are driven by the idea of giving back. That's necessary because I believe in power of giving and receiving. And if you just one person who is just like, what is there for me? What is there for me? What I can get from there? It's in balance. You need to give in order to receive. You need to have this heart to heart conversation when you feel connected, and then it's just you've got this sort of connection, and you feel, I feel I was given, but I feel I grew up out of that. It's like it's a lift happen. I'm a better person of that because of this connection happen, right?
Absolutely.
Please let us know when the book is published and when it comes out, because we definitely need to buy this book and we definitely need to tell a lot of people about it. I'm just blown away by what you've shared, Elena. That was so powerful. And I've got a question for you around how you prioritize self care, because you've spoken a lot about the things you do and the work you have to do internally to better feed and to better speak to other people. How do you prioritize self care and maintain good mental health while you wear so many hats?
Think I had few big warning from universe, because when we talk about work-life balance, few months ago I would tell you it doesn't exist. I'm working with shaman, and she basically saying you need to believe that you are working at no time. The universe will provide for you, right? It's probably you also heard that if you want things done, ask busy people, give it to busy people. Not prioritizing self help. So now I would tell you different things from what I would tell you a few months ago, because it's like a car. You can have serviced car, you can have it beautiful, you can have it like very powerful, but if you forget to put fuel, that would you able to drive? No. No, that without fuel, it's nothing. This as well. So my first warning sign was at the age of 50, when I just become a robot, just a robot. I couldn't function anymore. I put about 15 kilo on. I was on coffee and chocolate all the time, sleepless nights. I become addictive smoker, just like I needed to go through. I needed to go through. But body was giving me different signs. Suddenly, I just felt I can't function anymore. So I was fully dysfunctional. And thanks God, I had a couple of my girlfriends who say, Elena, you need to do something about it. So they organized their trip to Thailand to the full fast retreat. And basically 2 weeks on no food, like just water, some supplements and everything. Body was detoxed, but also I met a lot of healers who would say, you know what, your next step, like your next stage would be cancer. That's how bad I was. Now comparing to then, like everyone say, we don't know what you're doing, but you're doing something right. Then I started to sort of prioritize, like I started to go to these health retreats once a year. But again, it wasn't too sustainable because I would drive myself to IM. So I had to look at what are the strategies? How can I sustain, do the same thing, but prioritize? Like me, when you can't say no, any request or something. So eventually you slip from where you need to be. That's happened again in December, and that is like true story and very, very powerful, I believe. Then in December, I was just like, again, I couldn't function anymore. My energy level is below zero, but I'm still pushing through. I managed to go to Bali to my health retreat, Butsari, walk into my pyramids of chi where I'm doing my spiritual development. But it just was such a little drop. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough even to put some little, like it's probably in the tank of 60 liters, you put just half a liter. That what was that week. But then I thought I would have that time when we closed for 2 weeks, but I was keep working through that. Team was on holiday. I was continue working, and then on 7th of January we supposed to go with family on holiday. I was taking my whole family, my kids, all my grandkids to Colorado skiing. I wanted to introduce my grandkids to skiing and to snow because some of them never seen snow in their life. For me, because like I came from dysfunctional family, the idea of building that family, that function, building that family, that unconditional love, when especially my grandchildren, when they understand about support, no matter what happened in their life, they need to know that they can turn to any of us and they would have a level of support. But I booked that trip a year ago, so it was a lot of preparation from my side. I paid for everyone and everything, but then something started to happen to my schedule. So my like I was flying different travel agency. I booked my family through my existing travel agent, and my ticket I booked through Expedia. Never again. That's the horror story. Because Qantas changed flight slightly, and then they didn't act in time. So 3 months prior my trip, they started to tell me you cannot fly that. You need to change your itinerary. You need to fly to days later, or you need to fly through New Zealand or Melbourne. It's just like, and I say I cannot. I organized trip. It's my family. At the end, I had to cancel Expedia and then wait money for a long time for my trip. So my travel agent rebooked my trip, like a new itinerary, but it wasn't with my family. It was with another flight, and you wouldn't believe, 3 hours prior my flight, it was canceled by airline, American Air. So you would start like, but being me, I would just keep pushing through, and I did. I wouldn't even think that universe is giving me some, Yelena, slow down, Yelena, stop. Your family can take over. They can do. They big girls and boys. They can do something. No, I organized. I need to push through. So I managed to downgrade my from business class to economy and managed to fly with my family. But then my luggage hasn't arrived. So for 3 days, I was waiting for my luggage. Again, I will organize their itinerary and ski passes, lift passes, everything. So it's done. Then I finish up sick. My immune system, from all the stress, my immune system was down. So I lost my voice. I was like that. I was taking some lozenges, but instead of just taking rest, because I have Oura ring and it was screaming at me, Yelena, like stay in bed. Your readiness score is 32 out of 100. Your body temperature is elevated. No, I am here on the mission. I am here to make my family create memories. And then on day 3, I took day off and I needed to return all the rental stuff. So I did. And day 4, I rested for 1 day. I pick up my stuff. And instead of again testing that equipment, had my family with me, let's go to my favorite lift. So on the way down, it's light fall, but it cost me my ski hasn't like they did not touch my boots, not really ski, and basically my knee was two skis and it just cracked. My son-in-law came and he helped me to release the ski. I got up, I put ski back, and then I realized my left foot can continue, but my knee of the right foot was like a jelly. And my son, like I could see grandson, he was just like, Mimi, what's happened? And I said, that seems like I cannot go further. But I always was wondering, what is this VIP? How they take it from the top of the mountain to the clinic. So I experienced that, never again. And I was even at the clinic, I was waiting for the good news. When they've done x-ray, what is the good news? They say, no good news. It's completely torn ACL. You would need surgery. They put the huge brace to get me to Australia. Cut story short, looking back now, I am grateful. Universe found the way how to stop me, still gentle way. It gave me all the warning signs. I ignored them. So it could finish in bigger disaster because the way I was going down. So the months that I spent working from home, I finished the book. I realized a lot of stuff. I had conversation with my staff and I say, I invested a lot in you. So it's time universe want me to get out of your way and for you to step up. That's what you meant to do. And now because like during the pandemic we didn't have, like, we were as an essential business, we were open, and we were just like, it was so much work and I was exhausted and I was dreaming about being in lockdown even for a few days. I made myself now in lockdown for more than a month, concentrating on my physio and working from home. And I can tell you, I understand people who don't want to come back to offices. It is just so much more efficient, and I am more like measuring my stress level on being engaged and relaxed most of the time now. So I'm not stressed anymore, and now I can prioritize my health. So mom and I, and my mom, she's 83, so we are back to walking every morning. So we are up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We walk in the park for 6 kilometers. Then we are in the pool doing some exercise, and then I'm ready to start the time. That's what I was missing here, because it just go and meetings, because we are expanding into US. So at 5 o'clock I was already at the computer starting meetings. But now I say, until I do self-care, until I care for myself, and do my walk in the park, the world can stop. I'm not jumping anything, and that is just like not negotiable. And that, I think, to make your self-care a priority, it shouldn't be negotiable. Because once again, if you don't put fuel in your car, you are not able to drive. Why you think that pushing your body, what you can get? Do we want to go to the moment that it's too late to save ourselves? Why, like prevention, it's an old saying, prevention is better than cure. So that's what we need to concentrate. You service your car, you schedule that, just like drive your car and that schedule, not to plan the scheduled service for your body. That should be not negotiable.
Well, Elena, I've taken so many notes. I've taken so many notes. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences. And I love what you said about, if we can schedule maintenance for our cars, what about our bodies, which are more important? And self-care, everything else can wait, but self-care should always be a priority. Thank you so much for spending time with Sandra and I on Empowered Voices Amplified. We really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us. And we are looking forward to you producing your book and reading it. We're definitely going to be one of the first people to buy it. But thank you so much, Elena. We really appreciate your time. And to our listeners, I know this is going to be a message that many of us can resonate with. And what I would encourage you is to really listen dig deep and prioritize yourself, because you can't give out from an empty cup. Thank you once again, and have a great week.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.